Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What's up? What's going on, my good people? Welcome or welcome back to Rhonda's Real Talk, where people come for the food, but they stick around for the conversation. And before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, y'all. Today we're having tacos. We're having ground turkey tacos. I got my ground turkey off to the side. Ooh, that's hot. Some red onions, avocado, tomatoes, cilantro. Got some jalapenos, some Texas Pete hot sauce. I got some white cheddar cheese. So let's get to it. I don't know why I'm holding that. Ooh, y'all, can y'all see this thing? I don't know why I put that in my hand. I have no idea why. All right, there we go. That's the solution. I haven't had crunchy tacos, I feel like, in a while. Do I have sour cream? I don't know if I have sour cream. I would like some sour cream though. Cheese. I love thick cut cheese and I love white cheddar. I need to make sure that I buy it more often. All right, some tomatoes. And then I'm gonna add the avocado. I forgot that I even had avocado. I was so happy when I saw them. I should have made some guacamole. I don't know why I didn't. That's what I should have done. All right, so what do I want next? Onion. I ain't making a mess, I'll tell you that. All right, onion and then the cilantro. Is it even getting on the taco? Like, I can see the back of it, but I can't see the front. So I'm like, yeah, I'm missing the mark. It's fine. These tacos are sloppy. And you know what? That's all right. This one needs some more cilantro. This one right here. Okay. Yes. All right, great. Great, great, great. I think that we should add a little jalapeno. Jalapeno. Ooh. Okay. Hot sauce. And we almost ready, y'all. All right. Ooh, that looks so good. First bite for y'all. First bite from my GP fam. All right. Every time I eat a taco, it's like the first time I ever had one. Let me really chew my food. Couple more chews. Y'all, and if I'm being honest, the secret to this taco meat being so amazing are my seasonings. I gotta say that. The low sodium all-purpose, we got the low sodium jalapeno garlic pepper. Y'all, it makes a difference. It does. Because you're not gonna find that in like a standard, you know, taco packet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all, if you want some seasonings, this is the last drop of the year. Good as can be. .co. Get you some. I'm telling you. So I season the ground turkey with oregano, chili powder, onion powder, paprika. I say cumin. You know, adding in the jalapeno garlic pepper, the all-purpose, I feel like this enhances the flavor. I added in some W sauce, some coconut aminos, and a little salt. So you bring everything together. Just good every single time, y'all. Why did my car get broken into? It was like, was this last week? I think it was last week. So I get in my car one day. I'm going to go drop off packages, right? Get in the car. Windows are not broken or anything like that. But I get in and I immediately know something is wrong because I could tell that the things that were in my middle console have been taken out. So I'm looking around and I can just see the stuff is just scattered out of place. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'll be damned. And what's interesting is that the day before that, I saw this viral video of this guy like using a hanger, breaking into a car. And then like the next day, my car got broken into. So yeah, they had to have done something because my doors were locked for sure. I know for certain. I'm really diligent and like good about locking my doors, but also my car doors will lock. I don't know what the time lapse is. Like if it's 30 seconds after I get out, a minute after I get out, my doors always lock on their own. Like my car will lock with my keys in the car. Like not in the ignition, but like let's say I leave the keys on the seat and I close the door, my car will lock. Like it locks all the time. So yeah, fumbling through my car. I had a bunch of CDs and stuff in my console. They didn't really, it wasn't nothing to take. You know what I mean? Like I make it a point not to have anything in my car. And then I also have a valet lock on my trunk. So I can't even pop the trunk from the inside of the car. And there's nothing in my trunk either. And I'm gonna make sure I keep it that way because I know it was some kids, because a few days after that, the police was in the complex and they were talking about they got called because somebody saw a group of kids, you know, going around checking cars, seeing if they were unlocked or not. So, yeah. I'm just glad they didn't break my window. That's the biggest thing, right? Please don't bust my window. I don't have to deal with that. I should slow down. I want to cherish this. I need to slow down. I'm mad it's over. I have come a long way. I remember when I could not eat jalapenos. Like, they were just way too hot for me. I like spice. Like, somewhere right in the middle. Not too spicy, though. Shout out to Lenitra. When I was live the other day, I did a giveaway. We had some fun. And we were talking about, like, my next blend, like, my next seasoning. I have jerk lined up, but, like, what am I going to do for the 5th one, right? And so Lenitra was like, Rhonda, make something hot. I think she said start at habanero, then go higher than that. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, I can't make something that I wouldn't even enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind considering maybe something spicy, but not that spicy. Before I get into this topic, if you have a topic, a situation, or a question that you'd like me to ask here on the channel, hit me up at rhondasrealtalk@gmail.com or send me a DM on Instagram at rhondasrealtalk. All right, so I got a DM from Simone. So shout out to you, Simone. Thank you for hitting me up. Simone is about to be 30 years old. So she's feeling that shift and turning point in her life. She's experienced a lot of trauma in her childhood, you know, young adulthood. And she was asking me, like, how do I get to a place where I stop pointing fingers at other people and blaming other people for the things I've experienced? So she wants to change that. You know, she finds that she wants, you know, the apologies and all that stuff from other people as well. So first of all, the things that happened weren't your fault. Okay, I'll say that. I'm sure the things that have kept you up at night, that have traumatized you, especially in childhood, you know, we're put in different environments and situations, things happening to us, things happening around us, right, that affect us, traumatize us. And, you know, that keep us up at night. You know what I'm saying? And that we carry that through our lives. So, you know, that wasn't your fault at all. Those things were not your fault. I think sometimes we can internalize those things and blame ourselves. You know, it must have been my fault. I deserved it or whatever. You know, we start to plant these different seeds in our heads and we start to believe it. Right. So don't blame yourself for the things that have happened around you at all. You know, it wasn't your responsibility. It wasn't your fault at all. Now, the thing that is your responsibility is how you decide to move through life, how you decide to handle the trauma that you've experienced, how you decide to cope. You know, what are your coping mechanisms, you know? And a lot of that may look like, you know, books that you read, workshops that you attend, different forms of therapy. You know, there may be some different therapy that you want to explore. There are some somatic options that help as well with trauma. Group therapy, individual therapy, art therapy, music therapy. There are so many forms of therapy. So I would suggest really exploring so that you can figure out, or just getting a therapist that specializes in trauma as well. And I think a big part of it too, like when I used to, you know, play the blame game as well, I found myself getting hung up because I wanted an apology. And you mentioned the apology as well. So I can relate to that. Sitting like, y'all, I mean, just sitting in it. Like, I want an apology and just hung up on that. I could not move forward. So I got to a place of where I had to forgive that person, the situation, the things that happened, to free myself of it so that I could move forward and take responsibility, you know, in terms of like how those things affected me. I had to take responsibility to figure out how to move past that. And for me, a lot of that was books. It was podcasts. It was, you know, traveling, you know, it was meditation. It was prayer. You know, it was a lot of different things that helped that I had to do continuously to really push myself past traumatic things I've experienced in my life. And I'm still dealing with some trauma in my life as well. Still to this day, still working through some things right now. And I think it's an ongoing thing. But I think the best way to stop blaming other people is just to realize that your life is your responsibility. And it is about you now taking action, because there's so many resources and we have so much access. It's just time to find out what works for you, and whatever works for you, to do it consistently. And it may just be going for walks in nature. Like I said, it could be listening to podcasts. It might be reading books. I have 3 books that I can recommend to you that came to mind. One of them is Get Over It by Ian Van Zant. My honey recommended that book to me. And I'm about halfway through the book, and I really love the parts of it that I've read. And it's taken me a while to get through it because I've had to go through so many parts over and over again to be like, yo, okay, like, you know, it unlocks something in my mind, and then I'm trying to process it and then thinking about how I can apply it. So really sitting with it. So I'm not done with the book, but it's a great book so far. And 2 books by Brianna Weiss. When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal, and then The Mountain Is You. Those books have been great as well. So yeah, those are some book suggestions. Again, it might be some group settings, some group therapy. It's just a lot of stuff that's available. It really is a lot of things that are available to us. So I would really suggest just finding what works for you. Take responsibility so that you don't have to blame other people, you know, but you can look within and look to yourself and be proud of the progress that you've made to push past the things that were out of your control. You know, like there's so many things we have experienced. Just, you know, we're at the hands of other people. You know, we didn't ask to be here. And then, like I said, many of us are just born into environments that are so toxic and dysfunctional, you know, that becomes normal because that's what we know. You know what I mean? So, and even in that too, I think a big part of it, one thing that also helped me too through my like healing and just my awakening and just becoming a better person was about like my values and my beliefs. You know, I had to sit back and say, do I still believe in these things? You know, because values and beliefs are kind of handed off to us, you know, in childhood. And it's like, do the value systems that you've grown up with, the beliefs that you've had, does that still work for you? You know, that also can play a big part in your world. And that's also taking responsibility as well to find out if those things still align with you or not. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. I wish you well on your healing journey. I think 30 is a great time to really start to question certain things. And figure out what you need at that stage in your life and just continue doing it over and over again. Because the things you decide to do now, you know, as you turn 30 may not work for you when you're 33, you know, because maybe some other things will become unlocked or surface at that point and you have some other things to focus on. So I think it's just about being tapped into yourself and knowing yourself, raising your self-awareness so that you can always be tapped in to identify when it's time to make adjustments and it's time to make changes in your life, you know? So hopefully this is helpful. I wish you well on your journey. If anybody in the GP fan wants to give her any words of encouragement, anything that may have worked for you, any books, podcasts, forms of therapy that you may have tried that really helped you in your healing, on your healing journey. So that's it, y'all. That is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I appreciate y'all watching very much. I will meet you in the comments. Make the best of the day. Be good to yourself, y'all. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.